there. So today I'm going to be doing a speed painting video with you guys, and of this little painting that I'm actually quite happy with. It's slightly different than what I usually do, but it was really fun to do. So I think I'll be narrating over it a bit. I want to maybe just sort of chat with you guys a bit because I've been having a lot of stuff on my mind lately. But yeah, let's get right into it. So with this painting, I was super excited about it just because, as you all know, I love circle canvases. Initially, I was gonna paint this like a woman in a fetal position. I thought it would look really good. It would have looked really good. I just don't think I could have executed it for some reason. I kind of just like scrapped it, waited it out. I was like hesitating for a long time. Should I do a lady in a fetus position or should I do an ear? Because I had this set of 3 paintings called The Anatomy of a Daydreamer, and it was supposed to be this series of self-portrait, and I had one with my lips, I had one with my eyes, I had one with my neck and general head shape ? And so, hey, didn't do an ear yet, let's do an ear. And so so that was my second choice after I found out the lady in the fetus position was just not working out. But I didn't continue it until the semester after Berlin was Buenos Aires, and so when I came here, we have this connection with Malabia Town, which is an art collective of like I'm not sure how many artists, but they're basically this group of artists who live together in this really nice place in Palermo in Buenos Aires, and they were kind enough to let us like use their space sometime whenever we like. And they're this like really cool group of people. Like they have like illustrators, musicians, poets. They also have painters as well, and so they have like a music recording room, they have an art studio, also a dance like space for tango classes. And so I would go to their studio sometime, but here's the thing, traffic in Buenos Aires is a nightmare, and it takes like an hour to get there, and it's just like by the time I get there I'm just so tense. I can't paint. I know that this like a lot of time I'm just going to be complaining about how tense I have been, and that hence was why I haven't been painting, but that was basically it. I think I'm just like incredibly tense throughout the semester because like my school is quite, and the academically it's quite demanding, complaining. So yes, I went to Malabit Town. I tried to paint this baby out. Wasn't really working out. Part of it was also, I think it was like a space filled with strangers, and I felt really tense each time I went there for a number of reasons. The stranger part, traffic part, and then I think also like the paint that I was using wasn't the kind of paint I was used to. Gosh, I'm really complaining so much, I'm sorry. But yeah, basically those reasons. And so now that the lockdown happened, I'm kind of stranded in Argentina, but I'm also in this incredibly nice house. And it's just such a nice place to be in that it's just been I just feel so much more relaxed, and now I'm painting more. And so I just recently finished, I called her the Oracle, and she's this painting that I recently posted. You can find it on my Instagram. She's the lady with the white hair. And with that one, it was such a big detailed painting that I just wanted to do something really loose and fun. And something I realized is that I tend to overblend a lot in my painting, meaning that like my brushworks aren't that separated, and then so everything just is like trying to be all smooth and clear and stuff like that. I think like so I've been watching this like oil painter, and while oil is quite different than acrylic in some sense, I I think like there were a few things like I could learn from, because like he was talking about how amateurs tend to overblend, and because like they're often like being staying so close onto the painting, that they're so close to the painting, they're trying to paint exactly what they see, but then that just sort of like make the painting really stiff. And so that, I think that was part of like my frustration with how I painted the oracle. Everything just feel really, really stiff. And so I realized that, okay, my brush works, yes. And I realized that like the artists that I've been gravitating towards recently are painters who have such character in the way that they paint, in their brush strokes. Whereas before, I think when I was younger, I've always been inspired by painters who, depending on the topic that they were painting, depending on the characters that they were presenting. I think when I was younger, I wanted to paint paintings that tell the story, the hint of another world, like Happy the Artist, for example. And now that I'm looking at more other painters, I think I'm more also gravitating towards like those who are differentiated by their brushworks. Yeah. And so I just feel like that's another way that, you know, you can add life into a painting. And so with this one, I'm also trying to like stop myself from overblending everything, which I tend to do. But I wasn't too serious about it. I think this piece was just supposed to be me having fun, and so I was like trying to like do little doodles on them as well. So a bit of like the meaning behind the painting is that this was supposed to be like a part of this set that were self-portraits. And so I think a part of me is that I tend to have a lot of negative thoughts, and and especially this past semester, I think I've just been tackling a lot of negative thoughts of like doubting myself, and also being like paranoid of other people, even when there's no evidence for me to be paranoid. I just feel like there's always this little thing whispering into my mind, like, you know, like a little snake that's just living in my ear. And so I just wanted to depict that, to show that. And that's why it's called Sweet Little Lies, except maybe not so sweet. I think a big part of it could be coming from like trying to protect myself too. But I also like really like how quirky it'd be, a little snake that's just living in my ear. And so I just wanted to depict that, to show that. And that's why it's called Sweet Little Lies, except maybe not so sweet. But yeah, I think a big part, any part of it, that's could be coming from like trying to protect myself too. But I also like really like how quirky it'd be, a little snake that's just living in my ear. And so I just wanted to depict that, to show that. And that's why it's called Sweet Little Lies, except maybe not so sweet. But yeah, I think a big part, any part of it, that's could be coming from like trying to protect myself too. But I also like really like how quirky it'd be, a little snake that's just living in my ear. And so I just wanted to depict that, to show that. And that's why it's called Sweet Little Lies, except maybe not so sweet. But yeah, I think a big part, any part of it, that's could be coming from like trying to protect.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. You see her walking down the boulevard. She got the posture of a superstar. She looks so fly in those Gucci slides. Yeah, yeah, I wonder what she hides under her disguise. Yeah, 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 yeah. And all the girls around the world, they wanna be her. And all the dudes are trying to score like it's fever. She lives a double life, puts on a show. What's under the subtle smile, we'll never know. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. She's a Mona Lisa.